in the next few seconds, which is right now. And there we are, Nomad X community, Facebook family, and everyone who's watching right now out there. We're back on track, and welcome to a new live stream with Daria. And I don't even want to try to pronounce your last name, so we just keep it with Daria, because I'm going to say it wrong anyway. And I'm stoked. First of all, Daria, welcome to the show. Great to have you on here. And I announce you as a LinkedIn expert, and I know you are much more, but the kind of like the way the story goes is actually I've set up a post the other day. It's less than a week ago, and I was like, who is leveraging the power of LinkedIn? And we had so many people who are like, oh my gosh, yeah, I've struggled with LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I kind of like stepped in front of the mirror and looked at myself and was like, yeah, I'm struggling with LinkedIn as well. So it's time for an expert. And here we are with Daria, who is super experienced in LinkedIn. So welcome to the show. Great to have you on here.
Thank you so much. I'm stoked to be here. I love this topic. I can talk about it all over and over again. So let's just dig into it and get some value. Yes.
Yeah. Let's drop some massive value bombs here. Guys, for everyone who's watching, either now or if you watch the review, drop all your questions in the comments. Daria also has an awesome course about LinkedIn, and we're going to drop that into the comments, the link to it as well, if you guys want to dig a little bit deeper. But let's start at the very beginning, Daria.
Okay.
I believe that people know you because you're an active member of the community. So I kind of like want to skip a little bit this time your personal story and drive directly into LinkedIn. My first question is, why LinkedIn? Why do we need LinkedIn today?
Okay, so many reasons. We are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we are on TikTok. Some people are trying out that. We are all over the place. And as an entrepreneur, online entrepreneur, or if you're having coaching business or consulting, wherever you're doing, if you're trying to make money online and you are everywhere, you might feel overwhelmed. And the thing is with LinkedIn is that it is so good on lead generation. If you know what you're doing, you can stop doing everything else. Basically, you can stop trying to go on TikTok, on Instagram and everything, because in the end, what you're trying to do is generate leads. You're not trying to generate social media likes or whatever you're doing. You're trying to generate leads, so those leads becomes your clients and you can service people. That's the goal. So what's good about LinkedIn is that it is an amazing platform which has a lot of great tools. It has still a very high organic reach, and you can still get into the game. Facebook is, when you come in now, it can feel like, where do I start? All these pages that have 100,000 followers, and like, I don't know how to do ads, and it can feel overwhelming. And TikTok might feel like all the teenagers dancing, I don't get it, So LinkedIn has this thing which is super perfect for you who is still want to be in the game, still want to learn. Like, it was easier 2-3 years ago when I got into it. Of course, it was like the organic reach. It was the golden era. Like, it was crazy. But it's still really good. So if you're not there, you should have started yesterday, start today. Like, get on LinkedIn. That's the thing. I would say that my highest qualified leads, my best clients, my best collaborations came from LinkedIn. I get podcast interviews almost daily, speaking opportunities almost daily, leads almost daily from LinkedIn. And I don't do much LinkedIn anymore.
Awesome. So I do definitely understand where you're coming from. And I 100% agree with everything you said. Now, here is the problem. Right now, you're talking to someone who is completely into Facebook. And I remember, when I started to go online and building the businesses, the companies, the brandings, I always leveraged the power of Facebook. And then at one point, and I think it's less than 2 years ago, I discovered LinkedIn. I mean, I had an account on LinkedIn since years and years and years, but I've never used it, but at least I was present there. So then I started to discover LinkedIn, and I figured out by this time, it was pretty easy for me. It felt like the wild, wild west. I used my tactics from Facebook. They worked. Engagement was high.
Yeah.
Now something happened. Something happened to LinkedIn. And to be very honest, I didn't have the time to get my head around, but my engagement dropped. My outreach dropped. So what the hell is going on?
Okay, great question. So if you already have an understanding how to build funnels on social media, so let's say you go on Facebook and you create a funnel from your profile, you link that to something, then you have a webinar, wherever that is. If you're already in that level of experience, yes, you can go over to LinkedIn and then you can have a good understanding how to build a funnel. I can talk more about the 5 steps after if you want, for the ones who are more in beginners. And what is important to understand now is that everyone have migrated to LinkedIn. Like for 2-3 years ago, I could have organic reach of 25,000 people checking out the profile. Like I could write anything and people would just go and check it out because there was not enough content creators. What's happening now is that we have to understand that how is LinkedIn making money? They're making money through ads. They're making money through the bigger corporate organizations. And what they're putting effort on in terms of reach right now is having more professional approach. So they have had an increase of content creators and they wanted to push more content creators on LinkedIn. So that's why the organic reach was so high. They were pushing, if you were going on video, if you were testing out the new things, they were pushing your content. So you were getting more traffic around you. What's happening now is that they have been doing that, but the content creators are not bringing money to LinkedIn. That's something we have to understand. So they are putting more effort into companies. So this is why the company pages are becoming more important. This is why ads are becoming more important. And this is also why influencers, specific articles, or if specific people are getting more opportunities. Like for instance, the live streams, not everyone are getting the live streams. Some people are getting live streams. And those are the ones who are becoming like the expert in specific fields. So it's changing. It doesn't mean it's not possible, but we have to understand that where are they making money? Like every platform we are on, their Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever, it's free because they're making money on ads. And LinkedIn is the same. So we have to address that and see how can we generate value to LinkedIn so they will push our content up, our profile up, so that actually makes more sense. Does this make sense?
It does make sense, and it just destroys a theory I had a while ago, maybe like 1 or 2, less than 2 years ago, let's say 1 year ago, when I was always telling people the reason why you have so much organic outreach is because LinkedIn has a paid version. You know, like you have like the gold memberships and all that stuff. And I was like, LinkedIn is making money through paid memberships. That's why they are not really relying on ads, which obviously makes totally sense on Facebook because it's completely free. There is no paid version. Yeah, they wouldn't make their money on ads. So now I'm devastated.
So, I mean, that's the thing. LinkedIn is becoming, I mean, they're going back to something different. And what they were doing is that like say 2-3 years ago, they tried to be more like they tried to bring new users to their platforms. So they were pushing organic, they're pushing content, they're pushing, they did a user experience that was on the smartphone. So we can be more like, we were putting more effort on the content, less on the profiles. That was a big shift. So that was something that happened for 2-3 years. Now what's happening is that if you go online, and I want to really focus on what can we do about it? If we understand that this is what's happening, yes, the content is going down in terms of organic reach. And yes, you have to be smarter with what you're doing. Now, there are things we can do about it. And if I can do this, I can just run through a couple of things that you can do no matter what level you are at. I can give you 5 steps that you can do. Is that fine with you, Ollie?
Actually, that was my question. Let's go into the 5 steps and we take it straight from there.
Sorry, I lost you for 2 seconds. You were saying?
Yeah.
All good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I can hear you. Yeah, I wanted to ask that. Can we dive into these 5 steps?
Absolutely.
You give us a bit of an overview. What are the basic 5 steps?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I'll also talk about what you need to do differently now from 2 years ago in each step. So what you need to realize, if you're doing lead generation, and no matter what level you are at, your LinkedIn profile is your landing page. That's where you're gonna get people. So when someone types your name, if they type all in all on Google, if you don't have a website, they go to LinkedIn because LinkedIn has been around for a while. So your profile is basically your lead generator for your clients. So what you have to understand is that you have to build as a landing page. You have to think, who is my target audience? What are they going through? What are the buyer blocks? What do they need to know for them to take the next step. Next steps can be join my Facebook group or join my webinar, wherever they are doing outside LinkedIn. So this is the same thing. You need to understand that it's not the CV. You need to shift the perspective of who am I talking to? And that's where you're going to be very, very focused. So target audience wise, narrow it down to one target audience and build out your profile as a landing page. You can go on my profile and check it out what I'm doing about that, but it's really being super, super focused of, am I really speaking to someone here? Am I serving their purpose, or am I speaking about myself? So it's not the CV, it's really about them. The second step is about personal branding. Stand out. You should not be just another life coach, not another yoga teacher, not another online marketer. You should really stand out. And you can do that through your content branding. Like Nomad X has this logo. You can do it through your media sections on your profile. You can do it from your banner. You can do it from the way you speak in your copy. All the things that you can do. There's so much things you can do around your presence on LinkedIn. Is going to make you stand out. And that's going to get eyeballs on your content, and you're going to be more professional. So that's second step, really, to think about how can I create myself as like on YouTube. You will be a YouTube channel. LinkedIn is the same. You become a channel. You become someone who has a website, and your website is your LinkedIn profile. Your personal branding will go through everything you're doing. It can be any content creation you do. Put your color in, put your emoji in, put your images in. Like, it has to be coherent so people start to see you and see you all over and over again. Hashtag, like really making sure that your hashtag is coming back. Check out my for instance, is hashtag Daria V, because my name is very long, as you were saying, Ollie. If you put that, you will find all my content. So I become a channel, and people are following my content in that way. So that's the second thing. Profile wise, you have to make sure that it's not a CV. I cannot insist on that. Take the time and half a day to fill out everything. Testimonials, media. Have you been on podcasts? Have you done anything? Just put it there. Create great value. I'm just going to give you one quote about how to think about your profile. It comes from Zig Ziglar. He says, if people like you, they will listen to you. If people trust you, they will make business with you. So create real likeliness. You want people to go say, I like this person. I want to know more about them. And the second one is, I trust this person. I want to go deeper. If you don't do that, nothing will happen. Now we're going to go to the social selling and step number 4 and step number 5, which are the big difference in what we are doing differently right now. Social selling, that's where people are making a lot of mistakes. So you create a profile, you know who you're speaking to, you know how to stand out. Now people start to flood into your content, right? They will start to check out what you're doing. And the problem is that half of the people don't know what to do. So they don't answer the messages. They're like, oh shit, someone is speaking to me. What should I say? Second part is too aggressive. So they go in and like, check out this, check out that, check out this. And it's just too much. So people are feeling aggressed. And what's happening on LinkedIn right now, because there's so much automation going on, that people just feel like they're spammed. So if you want to stand out, here's the difference. Here's really like, if you have done everything before and it has been working, but the big difference right now is that you cannot get away with sending a copy-paste message to someone. It doesn't work anymore. You have to be smarter. You have to really step up your game in how you do social selling, meaning that people need to feel very special. They need to feel that you're actually reading their profile, that you're checking out their content. You're actually connecting with that person and not just after your sales. Because if you do that, like, they will block you and they will take you away, because there's so many people doing that right now on LinkedIn. So if you want to stand out and actually get some sales, play the long game. And I don't mean that you need to play it for 12 months. It can mean that instead of trying to push the sales the first time you speak to someone, you start to speak about maybe getting them into your webinar after 3-5 conversations. And how you do about that is have an Excel for your leads. Very simple. Just make sure that you have an Excel where you keep track of the people you're speaking to that you want to have as a lead, and you make sure that you engage with them, and you create a list of maybe 100, 200 people that you have as your target audience that you're going to spend more time with on LinkedIn. You're going to comment on their stuff. You're going to engage them. You're going to tag them. You're going to make sure that you are in their sphere, so they start to see that, okay, she actually cares, or he actually cares about me. This is something very, very important. This is where the difference is going to be if you are playing it well. And that means that don't be a robot. Stop being a robot. Stop being so, this is for me, and try to really listen. And a lot of people are, I know in our community, there's a lot of people who are having a hard time with lead generation because they don't know how to speak to someone. And what I want to tell you is that the most important is to learn this skill, because you need to speak to strangers to get new people into your communities, to get new leads. So you need to learn how to speak to strangers in a way that you are actually providing value to them, even if you're not actually working with them yet. Very, very important. So here, get a list of, get really clear on your target audience, get an Excel of them. And when you speak with them in direct messages, make sure that you're speaking with your potential buyers. So don't spend your time, speaking with everybody. And then spend time with really nurturing these connections, getting on phone calls, connecting with the content, do whatever you can to get really close to them. Like anywhere else. I mean, only you do messenger marketing is very, very similar, but now more than ever on LinkedIn, there's so much spam going on. So you don't get away with a spam message anymore. And then the last thing, can I go to the next thing?
Oh, please. That's a pure value bomb. Don't stop it.
Okay. So the big difference, like I was saying, is in the messaging, but also in the content. Before, when I produced content like 2-3 years ago, I could produce anything. I would put something on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and I will have 25, 50,000 views. It was crazy, and it was great. Now it doesn't happen anymore. Why? Again, we were speaking about before, the organic reach is going down. They want to push more the company pages because they're going to pay more ads. So it's really shifting a bit. What we can do is that we can become a real channel like YouTube. If you have a YouTube channel and you create content around the topic, there's a lot of great content producers. You want to be known for something. So for instance, Ollie, you want to be known for remote work. You want to be known for location independence. You want to be the one that people are following. You might have a hashtag, you might have a branding, you might have a weekly show, you might have some content coming out every week. You become that person, like you would be on Facebook in your group. But the groups are really crappy in LinkedIn. So you want to be doing that on the content on the LinkedIn feed. So you do that on the feed. And then what you do, which is a really great thing to do, is that you take the Excel that you had before that you've been engaging with, and you just tag these people and the ones who are, of course, valuable for that content. And you start to increase the reach, and you start to create content that is making sense for your leads. Because we don't just want to create content that just is it's great to get viral and get lots of people liking your post, but anyone can do that if you do a really funny photo or something like that. What you want to do is that you want to create nurture your leads through your content. You want to drop so many value bombs that they say amazing. And here's the thing with content, you need to be better. You need to become better at copywriting. If there are two things you want to do in marketing, get really good on content and get really good on social selling. If you get good at those two, you're going to smash any platform. That's for sure. So traffic-wise, see yourself as a media channel that is going live on LinkedIn. That's going to be your organic traffic leading to your profile. And your profile is going to lead them to wherever you want to lead them to, webinar, link, wherever you want to go to next step. So I think I did it in under 20 minutes.
You did it in under 20 minutes. Yeah, I think you smashed it out in 10 minutes. That's awesome. And I really, really love what you just explained. So first of all, thank you very much for sharing all this knowledge. And that was super, super, super valuable. What I really like about what you just said is I feel like LinkedIn is becoming a more individual platform where you have to interact individually, not like it was maybe 2 years ago where you just could smash your links and everyone was kind of open-minded. People want to get treated individually, like we have it on Facebook these days, or since a few years, where the golden times are over, but it makes a lot of space for people who are really want to put the effort and the work in, right? And getting in an individual conversation. And while you were talking, I had one example popping up in my mind, and because I always like to compare the offline world and the online world, because I feel like if we are kind of integrating everything we learned in the offline world into the online world, we're gonna succeed, and I remember this is probably 15 years ago, and we had a massive important customer. I was working on light interior design by the time, and we had a massive customers. We want to close a deal with it, and my boss was there, and they had a chat, and this customer was telling him that he goes to Italy next week, and they're gonna spend some time in Italy. So the next time they saw each other, my boss just brought him like a little travel guide for Italy. The deal was closed because you pay attention to the details, right? You kind of like go individually, and that's, from what I'm understanding, what you're saying is exactly the same thing we need to do on LinkedIn now.
Absolutely. And what you mentioned, which I think is an extra bonus like thing you can do, if you're already doing all this, if you're already having, like a great profile, great personal branding, you're super targeting your audience, like you have to be super sharp, like I'm going to write the content for my audience. I'm going to write my profile for my audience. I'm speaking to only my audience. I'm my excellent for my audience. Now, next level, if you want to play it to next level, you start to collaborate. And there's a lot of collaborations going on LinkedIn. I'm involved in lots of women empowerment, women in business initiatives that are around LinkedIn, much more than Facebook. And then there are virtual summits, there are podcast interviews, there are live streams. There are so much things you can do in collaborations. If you're a content creator, it's a great way to get more people to see your content and then go to your profile after that. So I think it's a collaboration. It's a good next step. If you're already doing everything we mentioned, collaboration will bring you a lot of opportunities on LinkedIn.
Awesome. That's perfect. An honest question, straightforward. Are you using any automation software on LinkedIn?
No. The thing with LinkedIn automation is that you can get banned. Like you can really get, it's much harder than on Facebook. So I don't do any automation. I have never done any automation on LinkedIn. I think for me, it has been really organically, and it's not about the quantity really. It's like, okay, I have about 18, 19,000 followers, but it has grown with the years. Like it's nothing that I did, yesterday. It's something that has been growing with my engagement. What's really important is that the people on my Excel, who are my collaborators, who are my peers, like I'm a bit organized with, so I have my peers in an Excel, the people who I'm collaborating with, that I'm checking in with, and then I have my leads in the Excel, and I know exactly when I spoke to them the last time, if they're active, non-active, and when was the last day we spoke. So this is my way of engaging with you don't need more than 100 people to get to 6 or 7 figure business. You don't need that. You need to have really good connections and really great people around you. And if you do the same with LinkedIn, when you start to create a network, you will just be so much sharper. It's not the masses that you're after. You're after those collaborations going to bring the masses.
Right. So it's all about quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
Like in my opinion, on all the social media platforms, which are advertising platforms, it's like you don't need to have 100,000 followers. Better have 500, but they all buy from you. You're going to be way more successful.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Daria, we are already, I promised to keep it down to 20 minutes. We're already way over. And I could keep going and going and going on the LinkedIn discussion. But let's to round it up, to finishing up a little bit. You got a course in place where people can learn about LinkedIn. I already posted the link, and we got a discount code. Is that right?
Yes. So just Nomad X, 50% off for the course for all the community.
Nomad X is the word for the voucher. I'm gonna post that as well afterwards. What can people expect when they go through your course? Can you give us a bit of an insight what this course?
Absolutely.
What's in there?
So it's all about lead generation. It's not about getting internship or getting employee or nothing like that. It's really about how can I get leads? How can I learn to generate leads? So we go through all these 5 steps. We go through, okay, we're going to create your target audience, get super clear on the bio blocks. You will know them in and out. What's happening in my audience when they go into my profile and my content. We're going to create your personal brand online. We're going to create the whole personal branding, like the cover photos, the colors, like your messaging, everything on LinkedIn. We will create the full profile. So you will have like the best profile ever. So you can actually, start to use it with the media section, the links and everything. You will learn how to do social selling, which for me is a hard message. And if that's the only thing you take away, I will be happy, because you will actually speak to people like humans. So that's amazing. That's a full session, kind of a bigger one. And then we have a content part. We all have a part about video production, like how do you create videos, just like an extra session about video on LinkedIn. So yeah, so all the 5 things, by the end of that, I want you to be up and running with the LinkedIn funnel and start to generate leads.
Guys, this is the course you want to go to, and NomadX is the keyword if you want to take 50% off and really leveraging the power of LinkedIn, which I believe is super important. For me personally, it's Facebook and it's LinkedIn. These are the platforms I am working on it the most, and I think after today I'm gonna even dig a little bit deeper into LinkedIn and going back into everything I just learned right now from you. So thank you so much for sharing. It was super cool to have you here and to have such a massive master brain on the show, and even better that you're sharing all that stuff with us. So Daria, what can we expect next from you guys? How is everything going in your life, and what are the plans? It's just like to close that down a little bit. I'd love to hear it.
So our big goal now is to support 100 coaches through this season, really get them up and running, because a lot of people losing clients, they're losing they don't know what to do, how to go to the next step. So we have created a 90 days implementation program that we are running right now. And that is a huge focus, where LinkedIn is a part. We are using LinkedIn as a tool to generate more leads. But for us, we want to get them to get another 5K extra per month after those 90 days, so they can stop running after clients and feeling stressed and overwhelmed, and actually start to create from the right place. I think that's when you don't have the economical stress anymore, you can really step into your power and be fully, you can really be aligned much more in what you really are here to do. So yeah, that's our goal. We are really putting our heart into this, making sure that people are getting the support we can give them and help them through this.
Awesome. I love it. And I'm super excited to see what you guys are coming up with. I know you are doing super successful with your businesses, and it's really inspiring to follow you, to be a part of your journey. So it's a big honor. What are you planning location wise? Any plans at the moment?
I want to go back to Lisbon for the summer. I hope we can. We can
hear from you.
Yes. So I'm going to Bali. I'm going to Nomad X locations.
Nomad X locations. That's perfect.
No. So the thing is, we are in France, and we will love to go back to. We are in between Spain and Portugal. We have our heart in Barcelona as well. So we are kind of feeling that right now Lisbon would be the right place to wait out and be more. Sebastian is kite surfing. So for the ones who know my partner since 10 years, he just learned kite surfing in Thailand in February. So he want to go. Our dream is to get a house and create a studio in our home, so we can create more content and more support for our communities. And then he will go to the beach and kite in the afternoon, and then like this kind of stuff. And I'll have friends over, social distancing, and just really enjoy being creative and being more like in our mission. I think that's our goal for the upcoming months.
Perfect. Wow. I want to come too. It sounds perfect. So if we get a chance, we're going to come over. So guys, for everyone who's listening, you just heard it. Lisbon is the place to go. Portugal is the place you want to be right now if you're hanging out in Europe. And NomadX is obviously providing you more than 2,000 properties at the moment. So we have a big range of variety ready to go, and all equipped with high-speed Wi-Fi, access to the co-working spaces, proper desk, everything you need in many different price ranges, but still super affordable and way cheaper than Airbnb. And I hope to see you, Daria and Seb, very soon in Portugal.
Absolutely.
And I wish you all the best for your journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Showing up today and always showing up and providing all this amazing value.
Pleasure. Anytime, Ollie. Such a pleasure. Thank you.
Awesome. Say hello to Seb, and I'm looking forward to catching up with you guys very soon. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.